Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another amazing episode of The Devil's Due. I am your host, Carl Duty, and court is in session. With me, as always, is a man who I will switch to because he's my co-host, Mr. Drew Celestino.
Oh, look what you did there. I see what you did there. What's going on?
Nothing much. How you doing? We are. This is our first of the Tuesday experiment.
This is the Tuesday experiment. This is our effort to be as current as possible on Wednesday for you.
Because we care about you, dear listeners, and we don't like going back and having to add in new...
No more eulogies.
Yeah.
The day before.
And updates that are like... We're sick and tired of our news being out of date when the episode posts.
Look, if someone dies tonight, I can't help you there.
We hear you. I'm not going to turn around and come back.
No.
If I get like a CNN notification or something.
No, sorry.
So yeah, it's Tuesday night. We're recording this show to go up Wednesday. It's Tuesday, January the 17th.
That's correct.
Yes.
I had to check.
My son's 10-month birthday.
Oh.
He's 10 months old today. Crazy. He's all sitting up on his own and being expressive and everything. Still not crawling yet, a little behind the curve there, but...
He'll get there.
Yeah.
And then your life changes.
Yes.
Again.
Mobility.
Yes.
Desired and feared at the same time. Then I suppose I got to make my house somewhat safe for a child to be in.
Somewhat would help.
Yeah.
Put some pillows on some corners, things like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
That being said, I know last episode we kind of skipped over the how was your week. So this is because you said you had stories to tell.
A little bit.
This is your opportunity. This will be
yours too.
This will be like a retro how was your week. So covering like the past 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Let me get the calendar out.
Change.
Let me get the calendar out for you here. So
are you documenting your weeks now so that you know what to talk about?
I'm at least going to look at a calendar. It's a step. So seeing as we're going back 2 weeks and we're getting into, New Year's, essentially.
Yeah, like Christmas and New Year's.
So New Year's weekend I spent abroad, more or less. So I drove on the 30th. I went down to Cleveland, Ohio to spend some time with my buddy Phil for the evening, had dinner, and got to play some awesome guitars in his expansive collection. Nice. Expansive and expensive collection. Mm. So that was fun. And then Saturday morning, Jen and I left early from Cleveland to go to Louisville, Kentucky, because we were rescuing 6 basset hounds the following morning. So we spent the evening in Louisville, got some dinner. I picked up a lion's share of really good Three Floyds Brewing beers because they don't have New York State distribution, and they are one of the premier breweries in this fine nation of ours. So I loaded up with a quite the haul.
Bottle count?
8 22s and 2 4-packs.
Alrighty.
Of good stuff.
So you got beer and brought it across state lines.
Yes.
You're bootlegging now.
I guess. Nah, it's cool.
The lamest bootlegger ever.
I'm bootlegging legit product as opposed to homemade stills, bathtub stills, and bowling balls. I'm not quite the beer baron, but with time I'll get there. Kablamo! Oh, excuse me, Marge. So we brought back 6 basset hounds from Kentucky on New Year's Day, and that was cool. That was very rewarding. They were all very, very good. They all have good foster homes now. Nice. And that led into, let's see, going back, that led through New Year's week, which was like back to work, yay, Yeah. But the Sunday on the 8th, the Long Cold Dark had a show. We played a benefit for pit bulls. So I had quite the 2 weeks of helping out the pooches, man.
I saw some Facebook pictures of that.
Yeah, it's good.
I'd like to talk to you about that show, sir.
Okay.
About
what happened? What I do?
How can I put this in a nice way? Your disappointing performance, not so much in a musical sense.
Oh.
But in the combat sense.
Did you miss when I retained my
all I
title?
saw is a video of you getting whooped. And
Look,
I'm watching this
that
video,
was-
I'm like,
that-
this is not representative of the quality the Devils do or the Long Cold Dark puts forward.
That did not tell the whole story.
Uh-huh.
So I did get a finisher in and then a 3 count, which was not videotaped, but mind you, the title was never on the line. So frankly, it really doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Grant and I will be having our final confrontation. Well, we'll see. If I win, it's final. And I will win on the 18th, February the 18th, at the Dreadnecks CD release show, which is the last Long Cold Dark show for a while, so I can finally start getting new material done and written and recorded, and then we can come back with a strong hand. But I will be retaining the title, so that will happen.
I'm just saying, what is out there for public viewing is not flattering.
When you're sucker punched by a gentleman on the stage when you're not ready, I'm sorry, but I wasn't there to fight. I was there to partake in an evening of music.
Okay, I mean that's fine. You can use the sucker punch excuse for the first punch, but after that,
I wasn't prepared. I'm not ready. I wasn't ready for a title defense that night. I defend the title when I'm ready to defend the title.
All right, go ahead.
Hardcore rules are not in effect here. 24/7 rules are not in effect.
Yeah. Whatever you got to tell yourself, sleep at night.
Oh, I sleep fine on my belt.
All right.
Gold is comfy, my friend.
This is a soft metal.
That's right. Exactly. So that led us to this past weekend, which was fairly uneventful, actually. So, yeah, that's about it. I did stay up way past my bedtime on Thursday, though, for the event that we will be discussing ad nauseum and the fallout over the past few days.
Yep.
So, that's my weeks, more or less. What's up with you?
New Year's was relatively uneventful. We stayed in because we were still kind of recovering from like Christmas and whatnot, and trying to get William back on his schedule, and that just staying in kind of helped out. So it was relatively uneventful. Just chilled out. I don't even think. Yeah, we made it to midnight, but not too much longer after that. We're old.
We were sleeping in the hotel by 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care about balls dropping and whatnot.
It's funny because afterwards, Julie went to bed. I stayed up to play some games. And about half an hour after that, she had to get up to go to the bathroom. And then she comes back in the living room. She's like, you have to look up on your cell phone, Mariah Carey.
Oh,
I was like, oh, well, that's a pleasant train wreck. So, yeah.
At this point, why is anyone shocked that people lip sync?
I know.
None of these people sing, people. None of them.
That's why I'm very...
It's all garbage, and it's bad for you.
Like with the Super Bowl halftime shows.
They're all lip sung.
Just get pop singers. Don't bother with bands.
Yeah.
If they can't play their actual instruments, to me, that's worse than lip syncing.
That's why Metallica would... Well, number one, they haven't been asked. But number two, they'd be like, we don't want to do that. Exactly. Yeah. We don't want to be made to look silly.
Like the pop artists put on good shows. Bruno Mars, the years he did it, it's freaking fantastic. Prince
actually performed.
Yeah, I'm sure
they let Prince go.
Performed.
They let Prince do what he was going to do.
You don't stop Prince.
No.
So yeah, that was New Year's, and then there was a week of work. Short week of work, which was nice. They actually canceled overtime for that week.
Oh, how nice of them!
And then this past week,
they reinstated it.
No. This past week, I actually had the week off of work.
Oh,
yes, I took a week, which was nice because it led right into yesterday being Martin Luther King Day, so I got that day off too.
Yeah, nice little stretch there.
It was a nice 10 days off in a row.
Oh, glory.
In which we started watching Westworld.
Okay.
Really good. Typical HBO quality. And I kind of dove into my games of not only the board variety, but also the video game variety.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 video games for Christmas, one of which surprisingly enjoyable and really fun. And I could see it taking up a lot of time in the future. The other one, greatly disappointing and extremely frustrating.
Okay, let's start with the fun one.
Titanfall 2.
I heard great things about Titanfall 2.
crazy fun.
That's what I've heard.
Lots of fun.
Didn't sell well, and everyone wonders why, because it was apparently very, very good.
It's very good. It's done by the people who...
Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare,
early, really good Modern
Infinity Ward,
for Warfares.
Yeah.
So, yeah, before Activision got involved and screwed it all up.
Yep.
The team that was doing those early ones that were really good, that like kind of revolutionized first-person shooters.
Yep.
It feels like the play control and everything. It feels like the perfect, and the way the game is set up feels like a perfect hybrid between like Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Halo.
I played the demo of Titanfall 2 actually, and I found it to be a lot of fun. So yeah, a lot of it's a great first-person shooter, but you have like the kind of parkourish leaping ability as well, and the grappling claw and stuff like that. That was kind of neat.
Once you get that stuff down, movement is really, really
very freeing. I would imagine
it's freeing. It's fluid.
Yeah.
Like you're wall running, then you jump, then like you grapple to kind of pull you into the next roof or whatever.
Yeah,
it's great. Not only with grapple to use to climb one, I use it to climb on like Titans and attack them.
The big mechs.
You can grapple an opponent and just kind of bring them in, give them an old melee attack right there.
Good stuff. Yeah, they were. It scored well. People seemed to like it, but it did not sell well.
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
If you got a chance, because I hear the single player mode is good too.
People are really
dabbled
praising
in it a little bit just to get the play control down. I'm probably going to go back into it. I would definitely recommend picking it up if you can get it like
cheap.
Yeah.
Cool. Very good. So what was the disappointment?
And I feel bad because this is the game my wife got me for Christmas.
Yeah.
And Julie not being a gamer as much, if I express disappointment in a game that she got me...
You're signing a signal never to buy a game again.
No, not so much that, but like she thinks it's something she did wrong.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's not you, honey. It's the people who made the game.
Yeah.
Last Guardian.
Yeah, the game that's been delayed for a decade. Disappointing, huh?
Visually, it is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
It's worth playing just to like walk around and look at the visuals.
Okay.
They're stunning.
Okay.
What they did with Trico,
the bird chicken thing.
Chicken dog, is fantastic. Its behavior is very much like that of a realistic animal, not of a quote-unquote video game character.
Okay.
And all that stops when you actually start to control something in the game.
Okay.
The play control is hot garbage.
That's a shame.
It's not just... Originally I mentioned, wow, this camera is really bad.
I've heard that.
And then it just got worse.
Ooh.
And then it got like PS1 era camera bad.
Well, seeing as it started development somewhere in the PS1 era.
and the play control. You know what? If the game was announced and it came out in a regular time span, it would almost be understandable that the play control is as terrible as it is. But given how long this game has been in development, and this was a problem with the previous two games, Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, how do you not fix that?
Because basically, I would venture to guess, because it's been in development for so long, they couldn't see the forest from the trees, and they just you know what I mean? Like they just kept working on what they had and didn't really refine it. They built it on a bad foundation and never fixed it, basically.
It's so bad, and it's just things that like, okay, I can jump to this ledge, but I can't jump to that ledge, which is not that far away.
Yeah.
You know, I can do this, but it's logical things. I can do A, logic would dictate, since I can do A, I should be able to do B.
But you can't.
But for some reason, I can't do B.
And the game wouldn't otherwise indicate why that is.
It took me like a half an hour just to get up on a ledge.
Yeah.
Just to get up on a ledge, to maneuver the camera and to maneuver Trico, because as great as Trico is, sometimes it's also really friggin' frustrating.
Yep. I've heard that. I'm sorry to hear that.
I really want, because apparently the game is not that long, and I really want to finish it, but
But if it's frustrating, you just stop.
Titanfall's really fun,
Yeah.
and I'm still big in Street Fighter V tournament coming up this weekend, so
Cool.
I got do a little practice for that. It's so disappointing after all the hype and all the buildup. This is probably one of the biggest letdowns.
After so long in development, I have to say, man, like no game ever really. After that long, it'll never.
Yeah, but
it'll
at least
never
they have
pan
basic
out.
play control down.
I mean,
This one
think
doesn't
about
even
like
have
Duke
that.
Nukem Forever. That was in development for like 15 years, and then it finally came out, and everyone was like, "Oh, this stinks."
Yeah.
Well, that's why it wasn't released for this long.
So yeah, did
Makes
a lot
me-
of that.
Makes me worry for Half-Life 3 if and when it ever does see the light of day. But of course, that'll never happen. So
So did a lot of that. Did some board gaming. Learned City of Iron, which is a lot of fun. A lot of moving parts. Went and saw Rogue One again.
oh,
Did that on like the Monday.
how was
off.
the second viewing?
Good?
Okay,
Good. Especially since I was in a theater where the screen was properly calibrated.
that helps.
Yeah, it was really good. Equally as enjoyable.
Okay, interesting.
So, yeah.
I haven't seen it again yet. I would like to before it leaves theaters.
So yeah, that I think that was pretty much. Had a game night with my nieces and nephew Friday night. So that was fun.
Did you introduce them into the nerd gaming?
Yes, we played. What did we play? We played Lanterns, which I think you and Jen are going to love.
Okay,
We played King of Tokyo,
a classic by any measure.
and then the way my nephew played King of Tokyo would have driven you crazy.
Why? What did he do?
Hoarding energy like crazy.
I know people who play like that.
With like cards out on the board,
Yeah.
that any one of them would be a game winner for you.
Why didn't he buy them?
I don't know.
I don't think he fully understood the game.
And then like he would wipe the board right as I was about to buy. It has a baby.
That's a
Do you ever have the card? It has a baby.
Is that where you get an extra dice?
No. When you die, you come back full life.
Oh,
you have
that's
to give up all your victory points and all your cards.
But you're still alive.
But it's a whole new life.
That's a hell of a card.
Yeah. So it was. I'm not gonna lie, it was driving me crazy. So yeah,
Life in gaming, man.
that was the weeks. If, dear listener, you would like to tell us about your weeks, you would like to send some questions to the show, you would like to send in some comments or suggestions, you can reach us at the following locations. You can reach us at Twitter at Devils Do Pod. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Devils Do Pod. You can email us at thedevilsdopod@gmail.com. And you can find all these fantastic resources on thedevilsdopodcast.com. That being said, Drew, we have some listener questions.
Oh,
And surprise, surprise, they're from our dear friends, Jay Gelsomino and Alan Waiters.
they're not like going to take an off season. Like,
No, it doesn't look like they support the show,
all right.
and we appreciate their support.
Other people, you guys can email us too.
Yeah,
give Jay and Alan a run for their money.
give them a break. Give them, give them a run for their money. Maybe you can get into the World Series.
There are prizes, so
They're legitimate prizes.
yeah, actual things,
Bobbly things.
bug-eyed, bobbly things.
Yes. So our first question from Alan. Alan only sent him one question.
That's okay. But this isn't the
Yeah,
tournament
no,
bracket.
no,
This is just regular.
Peter Dinklage has been confirmed for Infinity War, the film.
Yeah.
Avengers Infinity
Yeah.
War. Do you speculate he will play Star Fox, Pip the Troll, or Uatu the Watcher
Pip the Troll.
if they get the rights from Fox?
Pip the Troll.
Yeah. I mean,
It's the most on-the-nose thing ever.
I think Uatu would be interesting. I would love to see Marvel kind of do that.
I need big fat Watcher. OG Watcher. Big fat one. I like him.
I know.
I don't want Peter Dinklage Watcher. That's silly.
I look not at the man's stature as a person, but look
No,
at
no,
his
no.
stature as an actor.
That's fine, but
I know. No, I know what you're saying. But yeah, Pip the Troll is on the nose, home run. That's so obvious. For those of you who don't know, kind of picture a surly New York cab driver circa 1980s, wearing just a loincloth and feather boots with elf ears, smoking a cigar and belligerent.
That's Peter Dinklage on a Friday. So, you know.
So yeah, those are our picks.
Yeah,
Now
that's the easy one.
Now on to Mr. Gelsomino.
Okay.
Question for both of us.
Oh, he's following format.
He is. He likes it.
He's conditioned. Staying in shape in the off season.
There you go. If you could kill your mortal enemy with one video game control, what would it be and how? Yeah, this is not
controller.
It just says control. So originally I was thinking, well, the original Xbox controller, the first one.
Oh yeah, I think it was a spaceship. You could throw it.
Deadly blunt instrument.
Sure was.
I think he's maybe thinking video game move or
okay.
something. I don't know.
I mean,
he's already in off-season form. He's a little shaky.
Well, being the fine Mortal Kombat player that I am, you know, Kung Lao's hat slice down the middle.
Right down the middle.
I mean, it's pretty satisfying.
Yep.
First time I saw it, it was pretty mind bending. So it's pretty strong. It's pretty strong.
I would have to go as you went your favorite video game. I would have to go my favorite video game. I would have to go with Akuma's Raging Demon.
Okay. Is that like a Shoryuken, but like more powerful?
No.
Okay.
He like teleports at you, grabs you, the screen goes black. You hear like 30 hits, and then if it kills you, you get the sunburst effect with the Akuma symbol in the background.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah.
There you have it.
There's that. Okay, question for you.
Okay.
Sleep with one, marry one, kill one.
Jay's trademark.
A Jay original question. Trademark Nice Marmot Productions.
Uh-huh.
This might be a hard one for you.
Oh.
Well, two of these I think are going to be hard.
Okay.
But Princess Peach,
Okay.
Princess Zelda,
Okay.
Princess Vespa.
All right, let me think about this for a moment. I mean, okay, let's weigh the merits here. Princess Peach.
Who has a larger kingdom, Peach or Zelda?
I'm going to say Peach. The Mushroom Kingdom's boundaries seem to know no bound. It just keeps getting larger, I think. Yep. Hyrule is very finite. Mm-hmm. There's an end to that world map. Vespa, needy. Kind of bratty. I don't know if I need all that.
It's like if a Kardashian was a princess.
Let's go ahead and take Vespa and put her
in an early grave.
Yeah, sorry.
Saying?
Sorry, Princess Vespa. So really it comes down to Peach or Zelda. I think I'm going to have to go with marry Zelda and a
one-up nightstand with Peach.
Deflower the fire flower of Princess Peach, if you will. Here's why.
All right.
I don't know that I could be married to Princess Peach. The always getting kidnapped thing. It's like, this constant baggage.
Sweetie, maybe some legitimate protection. Maybe some legitimate bodyguards.
Yeah.
Not, sentient fungus.
Yeah. So I can't deal with that. But Mario keeps going to save her, so I have to think the getting is good. So
yeah, and you don't want to marry that because you don't want to have to compete with what happens if you lose to Mario?
Oh, dude,
that's
Mario's he could jump on me and crush me. I'm not messing with that guy.
Yeah.
So no, you can have her, bro, but let me have her once first. That's all.
Right.
But Zelda, she's strong,
independent.
Yep. And occasionally she helps out in the final boss battle. So that's she knows what's going on. Regal, powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I respect all of that.
Yep.
So yeah, that's done.
Alrighty. My question, Carl.
You're reading your own questions now.
Well, you were drinking. I didn't want.
Sorry.
All right. Who has your favorite celebrity mustache?
Ooh.
I know what Jay's thinking. Jay's thinking I'm going to say Kurt Russell in Tombstone.
That's the obvious
Which
answer.
is obvious and worthy of being an answer.
It's
But
absolutely correct. But there is one other. Same movie, too.
No.
Well, same actor.
No.
Okay. Wow, you're... Okay.
I'm saying
Wow.
Burt Reynolds, any Hell Need a movie. Smokey and the
Oh.
Bandit, Cannonball Run, particularly Smokey and the Bandit.
For iconic sake, I'll give you a nod, but Sam Elliott is furious
listen.
somewhere right now.
Listen, I am not denying the sheer raw power of the Kurt Russell and Sam Elliott mustaches
I mean-
in Tombstone. There's no denying it.
Sam Elliott's career was based on his mustache and his voice, of course, but the mustache.
He didn't ask me what I thought was the best.
Okay,
He asked me what my favorite was.
then
Gotta
there's no
go
wrong answer.
Burt
then.
Reynolds.
All right, that's good.
So yeah,
Good stuff. I would say Kurt Russell, but
well,
good call.
You would not be wrong.
All right, excellent.
My favorite.
Was there a question for both of us, or is Jay just completely mailing this in?
We had the question with the video game kill move.
Ah, that's great. Okay, I'm fine. I'm okay.
See, they're taking a light this week.
I'm back to work this week. I don't know what's going on.
All right, case files are closed.
All right.
Actually, no, cross-examination is closed.
That's correct.
Yes. Now to get to some case files.
Open
We've
the case files back up.
Got some little bitty news that's worth mentioning. Then we got some big news we're going to talk a lot about. Little bitty news is worth mentioning. A lot of fans were worried that this was possibly going to happen.
Ruh-roh.
But thankfully, Lucasfilm has come out and said that they will not recreate Carrie Fisher CGI for Star Wars Episode 9.
So they won't do it again, in other words.
Well,
they
I mean-
already did it in Rogue One.
Yeah, for what?
5 seconds.
3 seconds?
Yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah. So I'm glad about this. I think
let's not make it awkward.
it just they're in a tricky position now on how they resolve it, but I don't think that this would have been a viable route for them to do.
So that begs the question. Do they kill Leia off screen? Do they just not mention her? How do you handle it?
I don't. You know what? I think they find a good way to do it where they don't have to kill her.
Okay.
Keep the character alive.
All right. Let's hope.
Yeah.
Hope. See?
Yeah, hope.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the little bit of news. Big news.
Well, hang on. We got some show relevant
Some show
news.
relevant stuff. Oh, folks, quick housekeeping first. Before we get to the show relevant news, we want to let you know that we will be getting back to Hell's Kitchen relatively soon.
Oh, it's coming up.
Drew and I have
soon.
decided once we get done with Luke Cage, we are going to go into season 2 of Daredevil.
Hell yes.
It's been a good for a show that's called The Devil's Due, and
You need some Daredevil content back in your lives.
The hook is that we're going to talk about Daredevil, and admittedly, we haven't done that for a while. Drew's to-read comic stack is immensely huge, so I'm guessing he's not caught up on current Daredevil issues. So
I'm fairly caught up on Daredevil currents. We can definitely sprinkle that back in.
Okay, because they just started, and are you current as to
A couple
what came
issues,
out
but I
last-
can catch up very
All right,
quickly.
we can do that next
So
week
look forward to some Daredevil comics coming
Yep.
back. But keep in mind, folks, that the breadth of the show it's Daredevil focused mainly, but the Netflix stuff is pretty awesome, and
Yeah.
I feel that it's our duty to no pun intended, sir, to cover it.
Yeah. I mean, if we
Daredevil's and the Defenders, all these shows are going to converge, so
Yeah.
let's
It's
tackle this.
What do you want us to do? Just do Daredevil and then not have any show at all for
Exactly.
till 2018?
We're giving you content,
Yeah.
here, folks.
So, all right, that being said,
Show relevant news.
Show relevant news. Marvel announced that a Defenders comic is going to relaunch coming June from none other than masterful scribe Brian Michael Bendis.
And that will feature the Netflix lineup, if you will, of
Yes.
Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Danny Rand, the Iron Fist.
Yeah, have you noticed this week, a lot of Defenders stills have been coming out?
I was just going to say that. In addition to the comic book being announced, Entertainment Weekly posted the first pictures of the cast of Defenders.
Yes, and nothing yet of an Iron Fist
Costume. I think you're going to get it. You're going to get it. It's going to be like Daredevil, man. Last episode,
right.
he'll finally
Okay.
put on the green
All right.
jammies.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little worried, but I'm gonna.
I am too.
Yeah.
At least they gave him the chest tattoo.
Yeah, you got to figure if they give Daredevil his legitimate costume, they're gonna, because Iron Fist costume is not that outrageous in comparison to Daredevil's.
No, it depends what version they. Look, they can't do the '70s crazy collar with the little booties, but you can give the man a green tracksuit or something with a headband or something.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So
right.
Hoping for that.
Luke and Jessica make sense. They don't really have costumes,
Yeah.
So that's fine.
So,
but it's exciting.
New comic
together.
coming out. Are you gonna give it a shot, or because I know you said lately Bendis is not.
Bendis is just not. I hate saying that.
I know you do because you love Bendis.
The Daredevil Bendis run is my absolute favorite Daredevil run. Followed right 1A and 1B, Bendis and Brubaker. That is like my bread and butter Daredevil comic book gold. That's my favorite Daredevil stuff ever. It made me the fan that I am today. But lately, Bendis just isn't quite my thing. I think
what's he done that's kind of let you down?
A lot of stuff over the years. Anything post Daredevil has been kind of spotty. I feel like he gets a little too clever or a little too wordy. His characters tend to just speak. This basically the Bendisisms got to me, so I can't deal with the pop cultural speak and the blabber and the lots of dialogue balloons on the page with nothing really being established or said. That kind of,
stuff that would work on a screen, not necessarily on a comic page.
Exactly. But hey, the dude's great. He can spin a yarn. I'm not gonna. I don't. It's just not working for me lately. So take that for what it's worth.
I get that. I'm a fan of Frank Miller. I get that.
Yeah. So, but I will give it a shot. Anytime he says I'm coming back to Daredevil, all right, I will. Let me see what you got. I'm a little bummed out. I'm not going to lie that Alex Maleev will not be drawing it, but that's okay. Bendis and Maleev, man. That Maleev is legit. I think that's it. Oh, they're using the black costume too in the comic book.
I know you're not a fan.
No, I'm not a fan. I want the red costume back.
I know. Everything eventually reverts back status quo. Yeah. Unless it's X-Men.
Or Superman's undies in this case.
Yeah, but did you see the...
They're tweaking it.
They're tweaking it.
Yeah, it's getting there. Just give them the undies back at this point. Come on. You're not fooling anybody with this.
I'm okay with the no undies. I like the tweaks they made. Superman, since Rebirth, Superman might be the best DC book I'm reading.
I've heard good things about it from a lot of people, including you. So
the father-son family dynamic it's
working for you?
Really. I mean, it works for me for obvious reasons.
Sure.
But it's also just really well done. And now they're introducing like in the past couple issues, his son Jonathan.
I see what they did there.
And why wouldn't they? That's, my son is named after my father and a friend who have passed. So, why wouldn't you get there? But Jonathan met Damian.
Oh, that could be fun.
And they're having a lot of fun with it.
I'm sure their worldviews are colliding, much like Batman and Superman's worldviews collide. That's cool.
Because Jonathan's a kid. He's a kid who's just kind of discovered. He's not like Superboy in that he's exactly the same as Superman, just not as powerful. You got to remember, he's only half Kryptonian.
Right. So is he half as strong?
No, his powers kind of come and go.
Oh, okay.
And he hasn't exhibited all the powers yet. So it's fun. They're doing it's I would recommend reading it.
Well, let's enjoy it while we can, because we're going to ruin all that real soon with the merging of the Watchmen universe into DC proper, because we all want that, right? No. Well, Jeff Johns going to give it to you.
Jeez.
Yeah, boy.
Jeff Johns.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, buddy.
Your Green Lantern run was so epic. It was so great. Yeah. It established a firm line of credit for you, with me at least. You're, sir.
Would you say he's maxed out the card?
He's getting there.
Okay.
He hasn't maxed it out yet, because again, that Green Lantern run.
Everybody's got a peak, man.
Yeah. So, okay. That's all done. Let's get to the meaty center of the news.
I was going to say, calm down now. It's a family show.
All right. Thursday night?
Thursday night, 11 p.m.
Thursday night,
Thanks,
11
Japan.
p.m. Which would have been Friday morning, 9 a.m., if my calculations are correct.
I think it's about 10 hours, I think. Yeah.
So, yeah. Nintendo officially unveiled the Switch.
Not everything about it. There's some details to be forthcoming, but the system, the controllers,
release date, price point,
yeah, the good,
some launch titles,
yes.
some later titles. So they had a whole thing.
They had a whole thing, and the following day was more things worldwide. They had worldwide events.
Yeah. So that being said, I will just clear the runway.
Okay.
And let you go, sir, and then I'll throw in my 2 cents.
Well, first off, let's let Lucas in on this because he has something to say apparently, and then I'll give you my my full take. So, okay, here's Lucas. All right. Good and bad. I will concede both. I will concede bad things. Good things. Let's go good things.
Yep.
The form factor is awesome. The
form factor?
The size.
Okay.
It looks great. It's smaller than I anticipated it being. You see it in pictures and it's one thing, but when you actually see it in people's hands, see it compared next to a Wii U controller, the gamepad, next to a 3DS, it's like, oh wow, that's a cool form factor. The controller sliding on and off, and how easy it is, and how intuitive it is, and that's all very
snappy.
It's very cool.
We know it's snappy because we heard that snap.
They snapped a lot. The presentation was so Japanese.
The presentation was terrible.
It was very Japanese. That's what I will say about it. It was very culturally different than what a Western studio would bring to the table. More technology than I anticipated in those little controllers. I didn't know that they would be so robust with the HD rumble and the accelerometers and the motion controls built in. I thought at this point they're done with motion controls, but apparently they're not done with motion controls. Mixed feelings about that. But the fact that it's in there and it's apparently pretty good, that's okay. Well, let's see what you got. I didn't anticipate the wrist strap little connector thing with the extra L&R buttons and all that. That's kind of neat. Lots of stuff. Where do I begin? My God, Zelda. Let's just get that one out of the way. Obviously, Zelda looks incredible, like absolutely incredible. It will be worth owning the system for. I will almost guarantee it. Mario Odyssey. A lot of people seem to be on the fence about this one because it reminds them of a very poor Sonic game where Sonic crossed over with real people, and now Mario apparently will cross over with real people. But here's the thing. I thought Mario was a real person. So when I see him in New York City...
He's a real guy who lived in New York. Listen, this Super Mario Brothers movie gave us the origin, sir.
No,
lived in New York City, went to the Mushroom Kingdom to fight gigantic turtles with wee tiny heads.
That wasn't... okay. It was established long before that he was from New York and all that good stuff. Sure. But here's the thing. When he shows up in New York City, which, by the way, it's called New Donk City, which I'm trying not to laugh at, but Donkey Kong tribute being what it is.
There's going to be an Empire State Building-esque
thing, and I will
better be on top.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed if that's not in the game. But it's just weird, because if Mario is a regular person, how come the regular people in New Donk City all look normal, but Mario's all malproportioned and cartoonish? It's very jarring to see Mario in a real-world setting, and people are not happy about it. So I share some of their concerns, but here's the thing. The other levels they showed were so surreal and weird.
Yeah.
It was very eye-popping. It looks...
I'm totally on board with Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey is one of the things that got me really excited about it because this character has been around for
30
1985?
years. When did Donkey Kong come out? That's when? 83?
Yeah, in the Super Mario incarnation.
85, yeah.
85. So
32 years.
Countless games.
You
got to try new stuff.
New stuff. The title is what explained it all to me. Super Mario Odyssey. In other words, it's going to get weird.
Yeah, as long as it's not like Super Mario Hat.
Well, there is a new hat.
There's a new hat. It's got a new hat. The hat looks fun. Looks interesting.
You know
what the hat reminded me of? You're
No.
going to cringe at this?
Oh, God.
The water pack.
Yeah, I hate the water pack.
I love Super Mario Sunshine. That game was, again, an example of you got refreshing it, try something new, do something different.
That's fine. Yeah, it could be cool. No, it looks the Odyssey. So it's going to be Mario probably traversing really strange worlds. One of them being looks like kind of our world.
Yeah, like
so
real world.
Give it a shot, folks. It's kind of a cool concept. You know what I was weirded out though by in that Mario game? When they zoomed in on him, they gave his mustache individual hair textures. Oh my god, it's so disturbing.
Which is weird because it's like, this is not that system.
This
is not the system.
But they did anyway.
Very much so with the technology they're using. This is not the groundbreaking graphical system that you'd expect other companies come out with. We've made peace with the fact that Nintendo is never going to have the best graphics. Comparison to other video game systems, they have the best graphics for what they do.
That's the thing,
and we're okay with that.
Their art style trumps horsepower, and that's why they don't make mention of that whole presentation. They did not mention specs at all. That's not Nintendo's focus. It never. Well, I don't know if it ever has been, but it definitely hasn't been in the last 20 years, and
probably not since the GameCube.
Yeah, that was the last time they really flexed muscle, and it didn't work out for them, and I think that's why they don't do it anymore. They went all in on the GameCube and said, look, we built something that's powerful, and no one bought it.
And can I just say, when the part of the presentation, when they were going through the systems of past and what the Switch took from each of those systems, could you not come up with anything better from the GameCube than the handle on the Cube?
Yeah, it's a little weird, but at the same time, for what they were trying to prove
the
with
GameCube is easily Nintendo's most underappreciated system.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And give it. Come on, man. The handle.
Yeah, for what they were trying to do at the time, and for what the Switch is, I understand where they were trying to make that link.
It's like you're kicking the corpse of the GameCube.
It's okay,
baby. You getting the corpses.
Hey, the GameCube also gave us 4-player... no, that was the N64.
Yeah.
The GameCube did give us... let's see, what did they give? The first wireless controller on a console.
Yeah, the Wavebird.
Wavebird, man. Thing was legit.
That thing was amazing.
Dude, people nowadays with your Xbox controllers and stuff, you have no idea. Before the Wavebird, we were tethered. We were physically tethered to the console.
Mm-hmm.
Wavebird was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Splatoon 2... Oh, dude.
Splatoon
yes.
2 penis?
Yeah, stop that. It's a family company.
Dude, they made the 2 look like a penis.
You can make anything look like a penis.
They could have easily remedied that by not making it pink.
Look, you see what you want to see. I think you're stretching a little.
Yeah, we'll post a picture.
Okay, you go ahead and do that. Having said that, I cannot be more excited for Splatoon 2.
Looks very
The first one was so fun. Unexpected gem. Oh my God, Nintendo. You're creative again. And I will say this about the Switch presentation before I get back to Splatoon 2. I will say it looks like Splatoon has kickstarted some kind of creative juices in Nintendo's offices because they threw out some pretty wackadoo stuff at the Switch presentation. So Splatoon 2 is kind of like the continuation of that. What's up with this ARMS game? Where did this come from? No, I'm not arguing if it's going to be good or bad, but just from a sheer creative, what the hell is this?
They're trying something
new. They're
new.
throwing stuff out there. They're letting creative teams do new things. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't care about the party game. I suspect most people won't.
To Switch, I could give 0.
Here's the thing.
0 about it.
Here's the thing. As a concept, I think it's brilliant. But they're not packing it in.
It's not a video game.
No, but it is a game, and it does use the hardware. You see what I'm saying? No, I'm
surprised that they're not packing it in. I saw that. I was like, okay, that's your packing game.
That's the head scratcher. That should be the packing game.
Yeah.
Because that way... You're not asking anyone to make a $50 investment into something so
I think, what they're doing? I think they're looking at how much of a success Wii Sports was, and they're like, how much money did we lose out by making that pack?
But Wii Sports did its job.
Yeah.
It sold consoles.
Sold the system.
Yep. This I don't know.
Sold a $250 system.
Yep.
At launch.
Yep. It sold a lot
With a pack-in game.
Sold a lot of them. A lot of them. But I digress. We got Zelda. That's all I care about. It's going to be great. I don't care. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I might be tempted to buy Mario Kart 8 again. We'll see. It's going to be in the offing, though, so maybe not. Well, it depends. Skyrim. I've never played it. I don't know if I will now.
No desire to play it.
Okay.
And it's not because it's being on the Switch or anything. Just
Not your style?
it's not a game that's ever appealed to me.
Okay. Street Fighter.
Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challengers.
This looks kind of neat to me. Oh, I mean, it's a 16-bit Street Fighter game. Cool. But I like that they are doing the graphic swap style. You can pick which one you want to play.
Did you ever play the
No.
HD remix?
No. Was it
You
good?
really should.
Was it worth it?
Really enjoyable.
Okay.
Because they had the guys from Udon
Yes.
do the comic series.
Yes.
Do the artwork. So
Question about that,
Next
then.
time we're recording at my place, I'm gonna fire
Let's
it up
play.
for you. Thank you.
Did they change the hitboxes at all, or is it just a graphic overhaul?
There have been some tweaks, some balances.
Okay.
There is the big news about it is that Evil Ryu and Violent Ken have been added to the roster and will be playable
Okay.
for the first time in Street Fighter 2 title. They have added throw teching to the game.
I don't know what that is.
Throw teching is traditionally in Street Fighter, like you walk up close to a guy and you press the punch or the kick button, you get a throw.
Yeah.
I believe it was Alpha 2 or Street Fighter Alpha 3 where they introduced throw teching. And basically what that is like they changed the throw to just a one-button push to a command where it's like you have to press light punch and light kick at the same time to do a throw. And throw teching essentially is if you press light punch and light kick at the same time as the opponent does, you both kind of break away from each other and it kind of cancels each other out. So you get what's called a throw tech. And that's been introduced in Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challengers.
Okay.
Which has not been announced yet if it is a Switch exclusive. So,
Well, seeing as it's been announced there first, it's implied, but I feel you.
Yeah.
It's unknown. Okay, so
what do you think of the price?
price is okay. The price of the console is fine. I'm fine with that. Where I start getting a little miffed is in the accessory pricing because whoa, hold on a moment.
I brought it up here on the website. Let's see. If I want another controller to play 2-player games, it can't be that expensive. They're simply two very small pieces of plastic. Now
They have
a
HD
PlayStation.
Rumble. They have
oh, stop!
They made a big point out of it.
Don't.
Hang on.
A brand new
Stop.
PlayStation 4, Xbox One controllers.
Yes.
Which have the same
Yeah.
Rumble features.
No, they don't.
Goes for $60.
Yes, I know that.
These
I'm not
things go
defending it.
for $80 to buy a new controller for the Switch.
I'm not defending it price point, but I'm going to say they did make a huge point in that presentation to say that the Rumble that they are including is some kind of new super duper crazy Rumble feature that mimics like physical objects.
That's you know what,
And that's fine.
That's all well and great. Then when they did the whole drinking glass,
See, that was silly. They needed a better
demonstration
example
thing,
than that.
Yeah, that's all well and great. But here's the thing: every new system always has one really cool feature that never gets really used. This is going to be that feature for the Switch.
Or may I counterpoint to you? This is going to be the feature that every console integrates in their next iteration because Nintendo did it first. Rumble Pack, analog stick, yada yada. The D-pad, shoulder buttons. Nintendo kind of does these things, and then they get picked up by other companies down the road. But Nintendo does it first. They don't. I'm not saying they do it best because right now I would argue I'm with you. I think it's too expensive.
Yeah.
But they are doing a new feature that We'll see how it pans out, but I can easily see Sony or Microsoft going like, okay, put it in the next one. We'll see what we can do with it. Someone will do something with it.
I don't think it justifies making it $20 more.
I'm not saying it does either, because, again, I had sticker shock when I saw the prices on this stuff. The Pro Controller, $70.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm buying one, but
if
Jesus.
Ultra Street Fighter 2 is an exclusive to Switch, and I want to play that, I'm not going to play Ultra Street Fighter 2 on the
button D-pad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. $70. My God, man. Yeah, I could do without the accessory pricing. Ooh, Zelda skins?
Yep.
Yeah, you could twist my arm to buy those. Look, yeah, console price I think is fine, but these accessory prices are just whoa.
I think
slow it down, pump the brakes, Nintendo.
I think the accessories are too much. I think the console is $50 too much.
Oh,
for the technology they're using.
Do we know the technology they're using?
It's got 32 gigs of storage.
Yep.
Which is far and away least of any console out there.
It is expandable.
Even least of like most, last gen consoles.
Mm-hmm.
720p. Again, that kind of goes
on the handheld. Yes,
on the handheld. Again, it kind of goes to Nintendo's art style and whatnot.
You're not going to notice that on a handheld.
The battery life
is exactly what I thought it was going to be,
which is not good. If it minimum of 2 hours, maximum of 6, depending on the game.
They said Zelda runs 3 hours.
Oh boy!
I own a 3DS. If I get 3 hours out of that thing at an airport, I'm pleasantly surprised. This is not a big deal.
Yeah, but your 3DS didn't cost you $300.
It's $200, and
which is $100 less than $300.
I think this is a total
the battery
non-issue.
life is a disappointment.
I think it's a non-issue
for
non-issue.
What the system is, I think it's $50 overpriced. That being said, they showed me enough to get on board.
Okay,
Zelda, Mario, Splatoon, Street Fighter. That Square RPG game.
Yes, Octopus something or other, or whatever the hell they're calling it.
Yeah, I don't care what they call it. Looks friggin' awesome.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
I probably will not get one at launch, but I can foresee myself possibly getting one within the launch window.
Okay.
Which I usually generalize as 4 months.
All right. Well, that's going to give you some time to build a little library because titles are a little scant.
Yeah, well,
but here's the thing:
the big home run of them was them saying Zelda, because as much as the other games look great, Zelda seems to be the only game anyone's talking about.
Yeah,
and they said that Zelda will launch
with the
console launch date March 3rd.
Yes.
Do you think that will happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
They just said it was. Look. Not for nothing. Now, I know Nintendo has been known.
That's really cute, Drew.
Look, they've delayed Zelda a million times.
And I'm not saying it's just Nintendo.
No. Games get delayed. But we are talking about the launch of this thing is like 2 months away.
Yeah.
You ain't going to delay it anymore. This is happening. It's really real world time.
All right. I hope it does. Don't get me wrong. I hope it does. I know how much you love Zelda.
Yeah, I do.
I want
a lot.
A happy Drew. Makes for a happy world for a lot of us.
Don't worry, it's coming. It'll be out on time as promised.
What aside from Zelda,
yes,
which is clearly going to be a system seller,
yes.
What else have they confirmed for launch? Mario's Holiday,
that 1-2 Switch game, Super Bomberman, actually, 8-player Bomberman revival on launch day. Looks kind of neat. And I think like one other title. So it's pretty slim. Not going to lie, it's a little slim. Yeah. But. Let's think back to the current generation consoles launches.
Yeah, launch.
What the hell
lineups are?
What were the launch lineups of? Does anyone remember the launch lineups of the PS4 and the Xbone?
The past 2 generations. Launch lineups have been pretty much slightly graphically better versions of games that just launched for the previous generation.
If that.
Yeah.
So I didn't buy a PS4 until Doom came out because I felt like the first year of that console's life was like a barren wasteland of stuff not worth my time. I'm sorry, but that's just what I saw. So every company's going to put out a console with the promise that more is coming. Nintendo is no different, so I don't think they should be hung for the launch day lineup because more games are coming.
Just Dance 2017.
Oh, let's go, baby. Yeah, sorry, no, I'm not playing that. Look, it's a Zelda machine for a while, and that's perfectly acceptable to me. Zelda deserves a showcasing, and it will get it. So they said they have over 80 titles in development. I hope that's true. I hope they all come out, and I hope a lot of those are good. Here's where I get nervous.
Stupid question really quick before you get nervous. Are you aware of the other editions of Zelda that are coming out?
Yeah, they have bonus...
Special Edition and Masters Edition.
They've got trinkets bundled with them, like maps and books and stuff and statues.
$130 for the Masters Edition.
It's got a Master Sword statue bundled with it. It's pretty cool. Not gonna lie,
Alrighty.
But I had to forego it because I only have so much monies.
Okay, so getting you nervous.
Nervous. Here's where I really get nervous. I get nervous about the online stuff. This is not Nintendo's forte, and I think they're going to somehow derp it.
And another high price tag.
Well, they haven't said what the price tag's going to be.
$80 for a year.
They said that? When did that come out? When did they announce that?
Out, like in the past day or so.
I want confirmation on that.
First 6 months are free for everyone.
Let's get confirmation on that. But okay, that sounds a little steep.
Yeah, that's, again, $20 more than... Actually, no.
That leads me to believe it's not true.
Both Sony and Microsoft are at, I believe...
60 sounds
they're
right.
At 60.
If you look on, Slick Deals, whatever, you might get a card for 40, but you got to really strike gold. I'd be shocked if it's 80. If you can find the confirmation on that.
Would you be, though? After what they're charging for everything else, would you be shocked?
Shocked, no, but I would be surprised and disappointed. Put it that way.
Let me ask you this then. What do they have to do? Because you're not a huge online gamer.
Multiplayer online, no, not generally speaking.
So what does Nintendo have to do to get you to spend $80 for a year's membership?
Some kind of expansive, and that's the key word, virtual console lineup at will. Not to buy individual games like an arcade. Like I can with my $80, I have access to play whatever retro games I want. I'll pay a fee to do that, to play them whenever I want. I don't think that's what they're going to do, though. I got a bad feeling about that. So, yeah, the online worries me a bit. I don't know how it's going to work exactly. They're talking about like voice chat and lobbies and stuff like that. Or not lobbies, but voice chatting and matchmaking being done on an app on your phone and not on the console itself. I don't know how that works exactly. So that's a little puzzling. I don't know until I get it. I don't really know, but I feel like it's not going to be Xbox Live and it's not going to be PlayStation Network. It's going to be somehow different, and that could translate into it not being as good. So, concerning. Other concern I have, probably my biggest concern. I remember the Wii U launch when third parties were supposed to be back on board and we're going to support Nintendo. We have games in development for the Wii U, and yay! Here we are. Look at our third-party games. Hey, look, it's Mass Effect 3. Hey, look, it's Batman Arkham whatever. Look at us. We have third-party games. Hey, Ninja Gaiden. There you go. And then nothing came out again from any of those publishers. So when these third parties say they're on board, I don't trust any of you. None of you. EA, especially you, because you pulled this crap last time with Nintendo.
EA's
I have no trust with EA. None.
Capcom's there for you.
Capcom is there for me. That's hey, if Capcom can revive their heyday on Nintendo platform, I will be so happy. Like, hey, we got a new Mega Man coming out. Okay, let's talk. Anyway, third parties are my big concern. And you know what? To be honest with you, as a Nintendo fan, I'm used to this being a thing. So I don't. You know what? If they don't come around and all I get are my Nintendo games, I'm fine. Yeah. But I want a big expansive library.
You don't buy a Nintendo system for some time now. Ever since like N64,
Yeah.
you don't buy a Nintendo system for third-party support.
No.
You're buying a Nintendo system for Nintendo games.
Yes.
Now, over the life of the system, they make that worth your while because they create some really great games. That being said, I know we've had the discussion in the past about the current status of Metroid. I would like to see them move beyond Mario, Zelda, and Donkey Kong.
Well, here's the thing. They are. Splatoon is a new thing. That is a new franchise for Nintendo. And we are getting a new Splatoon game on top of a new Mario game, on top of a new kart game, on top of a likely a Smash Brothers game down the road, but and a Zelda game, obviously. I too, though, sir, nothing would please me more. Nothing would please me more than for them to come out tomorrow and be like, oh, by the way, we've got an awesome new Metroid game coming. We heard you. We heard you,
Metroid,
and here it is.
Kid Icarus.
Yeah, slow down with that. That's not happening again.
What else?
Those are the big ones. Those are the big ones. Kid Icarus is not a big one, but the other ones are big. Metroid is one of the big ones, and it's just... I don't know what's going on with it. No one does. It's dying on the vine, man. Nintendo... So here's... Okay. Again, what have I said in the past? Cultural divide.
Yeah.
East, West. Nintendo is a very Japanese company, and Metroid ain't that hot in Japan, man. It's just not. Never has been. Never will be. Nintendo does not understand the appeal to Western players of the Metroid series. They need someone to tell them, like, look, this is the appeal. We like it. We'll buy it.
Yeah.
Put Retro Studios or whoever back in charge of it. Let them make another Prime game. Let them make a 2D one, too. To supplement it. Do 2 games. Give me something. I'm playing Super Metroid right now on my Super Nintendo. Again, for like the 90th time. Because it's my favorite game. Because it's great.
Yeah. I know it pains you.
I'd like a new one. I'd love a new one.
I know you would. Another thing that's a kind of concern for me is if the system is not a long-term success, Nintendo kind of has a track record of bailing on the system when it's not working out.
I don't
like. Granted, I got into the Wii U late in the game, but this past Christmas I had my Wii U for a year. Nothing has come out for it.
Yeah,
legitimately nothing has come out. For it.
They focused. They shifted over to Switch at a certain point.
Systems that you can argue were not long-term successes for. I mean, there's no argument when you talk about Virtual Boy. That was an abject failure from the get-go. The Wii U, maybe you can make a case for the GameCube, be stretching a little bit. But it seems like if it's not experiencing that gangbuster success, they'll bail on it and start working on the next thing.
Here's the thing that I would say to that. I share that concern with you, and you're justified. But as a company, I guess I would say, well, what do you expect them to do? If no one's buying the console...
If you're not giving them reasons to buy the console...
I think within the first couple of years, they're going to know if they have the reasons or not. That's the thing. My big hope is that the Switch does better in its first year or two than the Wii U did. And if it does, they will back it. And hopefully third parties will back it too and go, hey, there's an install base here. Let's make some games for this thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I hope happens. And based on early feels, it seems like that's the case, that it's going to do better than the Wii U. I don't know that for sure, but it feels like it is.
I think legitimately it will do better than... I think obviously financially, let's be honest, it's not going to take a lot to do better than the Wii U.
No, but I want to see an upward swing.
Nintendo didn't shine a good light on the Wii U when it came out. A lot of people just didn't know what it was.
It was mixed. Yeah, it was marketed very poorly, and it was kind of a half-baked idea. I'll admit that.
The Wii's numbers are kind of stacked only because of Wii Sports.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we can hope for it to achieve that kind of success.
Oh.
I don't think it will, only because, again, as of now, it's not announced that there's any pack-in game with it.
Right.
And it's $50 more expensive than the Wii U was at launch. Those are the two things Wii at launch was $250.
Well, that was 10 years ago. So, I mean,
well,
it was
still $50 cheaper than the next. Like, it was still $50 cheaper than than Xbox 360.
Yeah,
and
but
well cheaper than PlayStation 3.
Different times, and it wasn't as robust in terms of its features, I guess I'll say, than the Switch. The Switch is packed with stuff. Like it's a tablet, and it's got the controllers, and it's got a dock, and it's got all this stuff.
Nothing mentioned about the physical format of the games.
Cartridges, man.
Well, we know that, but they didn't like show us any of what they look like or anything.
I would venture to guess they're going to look like 3DS games to a degree.
Yeah,
maybe not identical, but that form factor, that's kind of cool. I like the cartridges are coming back.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I like the idea of no loading times. Yeah, I think we've pretty much covered everything.
I mean, again, I've shared my concerns, but as a Nintendo fanboy, I pre-ordered 2. Not 1, 2.
Why'd you pre-order 2?
Because I don't trust either outlet to hold the release date, and I think they might have oversold them, and I'm worried that one of them might slip. So I'm going to keep my eye on that shipping date to make sure it doesn't move, and then I'm left with the decision: do I cancel one of them, or do I just buy both and then punt one?
Punt one on eBay.
Yes, you're the third person to tell me that. I think I'll do that.
Nintendo's gonna underproduce like they always do.
I don't think so.
Dicks.
They said they're gonna have 2 million out worldwide day of release.
Yeah, right.
That's what they said.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
So that's 1.5 million for Japan and 500,000 for everyone else.
That would be funny. I don't know if that's the truth, but that would be amusing to me.
Yeah, no, they're going to underproduce. There's going to be a scarcity, and I would say your peak sell time is 1 month after.
Wait, you're saying to wait?
Yeah, I'm saying obviously keep an eye on the prices.
I'm tempted to put it up right away.
The prices are probably going to peak. But because people aren't going to jump to eBay right away because they know eBay is going to be high. They're going to try and get it other places.
Okay.
They're going to exhaust every possible option. They're going to drive to every store. They're going to go to every website they can.
Okay.
And when that is done, when that whole process is done.
When your retail options are in ashes, then you have my permission to buy.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right.
So, yeah.
I like it. I will do that, I think. Yeah. Cool.
So, all right. Yeah. New Nintendo system coming out. Drew is firmly on board.
I'm on board.
I am mostly on board.
I have reservations, but I'm on board.
I am on board in that if something came out I didn't like about it, I would be off board. A lot of it, not going to lie, depends on Ultra Street Fighter 2. And maybe a lot of people rolling their eyes right now because it's not a new Street Fighter game.
It kind of is.
But, no, it's not. But, as I've said before, we've all got our blind spots when it comes to fandom, minus Street Fighter. So, yeah. All right.
Cool.
That
switch
wraps up.
Let's switch to something else.
Let's switch to something else. Like some paper wrestling. As we get into...
Wait, you said rustling, right? Not wrestling?
Paper Kurt wrestling, as J.J.L. Smith said.
Because nothing really good has gone on in wrestling in the past couple of weeks.
Well,
Kenny and Okada kind of set the bar pretty high.
We went to the peak of the mountain.
We did.
Sir.
We saw the sky. I saw the horizon. It was good.
You know what it was? It was that scene. I hate to use a bad movie now for this analogy, but it was that scene from The Matrix 3 when they were in the hovercraft and they shoot way up in the sky.
I've blocked it out.
They clear the clouds.
Oh.
And Trinity sees real sky for the first time. And she's just like, it's beautiful. And then they descend right back down into the...
I've blocked that whole movie out of my memory banks. Wow.
All right. Luke Cage, episode 10.
Episode 10.
Take it personal.
Now, this one kind of goes back to our regular Luke Cage episode length.
Yes.
Sort of.
Length.
It's a little shorter, actually. So we had one really long episode last week and now a shorter one.
Yeah. And it's a little bit kind of starting to resolve pacing issues. Slightly. You see the beginnings of it here. I'm not saying this episode completely resolves the pacing issues.
Once we get off the farm.
I'm saying there are more pacing problems in this episode than there is resolution of pacing issues, but there is still some resolution.
Okay. Well, this is, like I said, we've said this before on the show. Once they're out of the farm, things kind of get back to normal. Right now, they're padding. I feel like they're padding this out.
Yeah.
This whole origin thing, or not origin, but the get the bullets out of Luke thing. It's like, this is not needed at all.
We open up the episode with some hard science work here.
Yes.
Some legitimate science work. Because when the experiment's not working, what you do is you plug in a toaster and you throw it in the tank. And that fixes stuff.
My notes here say Claire is quite reckless, which I think even the scientist man who looks hideous tells her.
Yeah, and I have a note here. Seems more like psi magic than science.
Hey, look. Let's hand wave this.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna.
You're boiling a man in acid to pull out shrapnel from alien metal. Because his skin is made from abalone shells.
You're saying I'm picky a bit.
I'm just saying this is the bed they've made. We have to kind of lay in it now.
All right.
I feel you.
And apparently Luke has a healing factor.
Well, yeah, I guess. But I guess you'd have to hurt him first.
Yeah.
Which you can't do.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Can I also ask a question about this?
Did you notice they completely did not show any type of repair work being done on the shoulder wound?
I was gonna say, wasn't he shot twice?
Yeah, he was. Once in the abdomen, once in the shoulder.
So we forgot one of them.
Well, want to keep him humble, leave that stuff in there.
But it was killing him. But let's forget about that. Let's get
like
move
you
on.
Said.
For I gotta say, for as tight as most of these shows are, that seems to be a glaring omission. But that's okay. They get the shrapnel out, and Luke's okay. He comes out of the turkey fryer, and he's okay. Mostly. While he's on the farm, we get some. He's kind of in recovery, and the doctor gives the whole spiel about like, oh, you were going to be the first of a whole new breed of soldier.
We get some background, yeah.
These other guys volunteered, and they knew what they were getting into, and so the scientist is a jerk. Luke was a guinea pig, and
there's a lot of Luke background in this episode that I feel could have been saved for season 2. Now I know what you're going to say. They were given one season by Netflix, and that's what they had to work with. Let's be realistic here. If this was the first series they came out with, I would say, sure, I can see that.
Sure.
Fire it all off in one season. We've had 2 seasons of Daredevil, 1 season of Jessica Jones. We're getting Defenders, Iron Fist, another season of Daredevil.
Punisher.
We're getting all this stuff. I think it's safe to assume you guys are going to get a second season.
Yeah.
And they are.
It's pretty safe to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. So Luke in this episode is kind of coming to terms with himself in a way.
Yeah.
Is this the episode we'd say where he kind of like decides once and for all like what he's going to be and who he's going to be?
No, that's more the end of the season.
Okay.
We get the Reva heel turn.
We do get the Reva heel
though.
turn. His main squeeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
That hurts, man.
I liked it.
Yeah. Well, it gives Luke some depth, I guess.
Yeah.
It takes something away from him that he had. And it's sad. It's actually sad because, this is the woman who she died. And we got
this is the woman who was so built up in Jessica Jones.
Right.
And then had a lot of that same build up in early on in the season.
And now we find out.
And I like that they kind of did that. It was just kind of flip it on its head. So it's one
she wasn't altruistic.
Yeah.
She was part of the program that was looking for people to put into the tank and to experiment on, and she picked Luke because he was the best candidate.
Yeah, and
not because she actually liked him.
And it leaves you still wondering, was she still kind of gaming him after he broke out of Seagate and they met up in that motel?
Well, there is a moment that's kind of ambiguous when they flash back to the hotel and he says, "Thank you for saving my life," and she says, "Thank you for changing mine." Question. You could take that one of two ways. One, thank you for changing mine as in redemption for her. She knows she did not get into this for altruistic purposes and that she lied to Luke, and now that she has helped him escape, she actually has a connection with him and she is no longer like that, and she
Yeah.
has an actual connection to Luke now. Or, thank you for changing my life, as in, you surviving what you just survived proves the work I was involved in, and I'm going to game you.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of up to you to decide. And I guess I would say it's up for Luke to decide as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a decision they made that I really... It's good because you don't see it coming.
No. And it adds...
Like, as much as we enjoy a lot of what's going on with, like, Marvel films and Marvel television, there's not a ton of surprises.
No. And how many heroes have a dead... coming. How many heroes are motivated by the dead loved one or whatever? Yeah. And so we had that again with Luke, but surprise, it's not quite what he thought it was.
Yeah.
So that's a good development. But yeah, I think when he tells Claire on the beach, like, I like the idea of Reva. So I think even he's kind of choosing to say, like, I know she might not have been doing this for the right reasons, but I wonder if he even... I think he wonders, maybe I did change her in the end. It's hard to say.
That wonder's there. I think a lot of the flashback stuff we get to later on in the episode with them going back to the old church.
Yeah.
I think that all could have been like that. Diamondback, all could have been saved for season 2. I think it would have been much better used in season 2. Leave a little mystery to the character. Maybe just touch on it a little bit in Defenders. Majority of this could have been left for season 2. And especially, again, jumping on later in the episode, did we need the whole Frankenstein's monster scene, trash in the barn?
Oh, no. Because it doesn't really pay off. He trashes the barn, but, like, he didn't, like... like when he started taking out the beams, I'm like, that barn's gonna collapse, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it just kind of.
So it's just a little Luke mad scene. That's all it really is.
And we've got the hard drive that's still has the information from flash drive that was miraculously not damaged and all of that.
Contrasting. It's interesting you brought up the flashbacks with Luke and Diamondback when they were kids, or, well, not Diamondback specifically, but his mother and Luke's father, and the fact that they're half brothers and all that stuff. So Mariah and Cottonmouth got a fantastic flashback episode.
Yeah.
Probably like my favorite episode of the season. Mm-hmm. And we're going to do a flashback episode with Luke, but we're not going to go that direction.
I think that's disappointing. Between this episode and the next episode.
Yeah, I think they should have.
We get more of the Luke, as we learned in this episode. His Diamondback's real name is Louis Stryker.
Yes.
So we get more of the Carl Lucas Louis Stryker relationship in the next episode in flashbacks.
We do.
So, but again, like you mentioned, that episode with Cottonmouth, they did that all in one episode. It was really tight, really compact, and it worked really well.
Yeah.
And it just seems like they have another opportunity to give us another episode like that, and they just kind of
they dip a toe in the water in this one. Yeah, they really should have focused that in and made it and sell it.
I think one thing that was done well in this episode was the kind of the mirror that the show is holding up to, real life frictions between law enforcement and citizens.
Sure,
I think you see like a legitimate police reaction when the one cop is killed by Diamondback pretending to be Luke.
Yeah.
And you see you get to see that they're cops, but this is also like their friend.
Yeah. Well, cops are a family. So you mess with one, there's going to be pushback.
And you see that one thing I'm not, like we discussed in our social justice episode, there's a lot of times I'm not sure how to properly react to stuff like this. Only because of my upbringing. This is not anything I ever encountered in my life.
Okay.
I'm a white boy who was raised in Amherst, New York, which for many years was legitimately the safest place in America to live.
Right.
What do you think of them using, in a lot of these scenes where the citizens are being rousted to find where Luke Cage is? I think they made a purposeful choice to use cops of color in these scenes. And also the cops who
beats up the kid,
beats up Lonnie, is also a person of color. Do you think that was a choice to show that it's not so much race as it is stature,
Police, power.
Citizens, no power.
It's too intentional to be an accident.
Yeah.
So I think, the show is kind of saying it's not necessarily a racial issue. It's more of a non-police issue. But that's dicey, man, because, it is race, too.
Yeah.
You can't deny that. No one can deny that. But don't dispute the fact that, it can be racial even amongst a race.
Yeah.
When you have that kind of cop, not cop divide, it's these are very tricky subjects.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I don't know that
applaud
Luke
the
Cage.
show for going into it.
I don't know how
Confronting
much
it
they
head
thought
on.
about it here, though. Now that you're bringing it up, I think they might have just figured we don't want to make cops look too. We don't want this
We
to
don't
look
want
too
to be the
racial.
stereotype.
Right? Yeah.
All white cops,
Yeah.
And the dialogue between the one cop and the lieutenant, the chief, like the chief inspector, that dialogue that plays out in like 2 to 3 minutes is kind of a commentary on what, like, the perspective. Again, like last episode, we had Misty kind of laying out the modern police mentality.
Right.
In a lot of ways, this is kind of juxtaposing that in that it's laying out police perspective from their angle and from how they see it.
Yeah, one of theirs gets killed, and big stuff. It is big stuff for a show about superhero people.
Yeah, but it's that format that I think is, putting it in that casing, that superhero casing.
Yeah,
gives you an in with people that you might not. Like, you're showing them something and they're learning about something and they're not knowing they're learning about it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't think the only thing I have kind of take issue with is I don't know that the show takes a real stand and makes a statement about it. It just kind of puts it out there.
I don't think its purpose was to take a stand or make a statement.
Okay.
I think what it tried to do is just cast a reflection.
Okay.
Saying
Well, it
that
definitely does that.
This is what is out there. We are presenting it within this world we live in, within the rules we live by in this Marvel Cinematic Universe. We're putting it out there as real as we possibly can.
Okay.
This is the information. Do with it what you will.
Fair. I wish Luke would have. Well, I wish the show would have taken a definitive stance, one way or the other. And they maybe Marvel didn't want to do that because they're going to have to take some heat if they take the wrong side.
Yeah.
Finger quotes. You
No,
know what I'm
I
saying?
get that.
But I don't know. If I'm going to respect the art, then I want the art to really make a point. And maybe, you know what? Having said that, I as these episodes kind of wind down and we finish the season, maybe it does, and I just blocked it out. I don't know, but we'll get there.
Yeah, especially I think we can easily agree that last week's episode and this episode kind of missteps for the show.
A little bit.
Stumbles with the pacing or whatnot. So maybe it's kind of putting this in there as maybe a counterbalance to that, or maybe this might unfortunately get lost in pacing issues of that. One thing I thought was really interesting in this episode is Mariah kind of giving a name to, or kind of giving a designation to what is becoming known as the superhero community.
What did she call it?
She keeps saying air quotes superheroes. She calls out Jessica Jones for killing Kilgrave.
Right.
For unconfirmed reports. Talking about Luke Cage and how he's bulletproof and everything. She's kind of trying to, obviously, as we learned in the last episode, it's going to be for the purpose of selling arms.
Yes.
And Diamondback, for all your critiques of Diamondback, in this episode, he actually addresses one of the concerns that we were talking about last episode.
How the cops could afford to buy these things?
How the cops could afford. Well, you just break it down and make it in a lot of smaller ones.
Yeah,
I wrote. Less powerful.
Isn't
but
that
it's still
convenient? I wrote. Yeah, that's such a contrivance. But okay, sure.
But
sure.
Obviously, she's generating the fear to affect her and Diamondback's plan. But this is one of the first times between not only the Netflix films but the cinematic universe as a whole, they were saying, okay, like between this and like you can argue the Sokovia Accords and Civil War.
Well, yeah. Civil War was big on that. Ultron, to a degree, planted some seeds of that when they were fighting in Africa and all that, and all the destruction that they caused, and under what grounds did they have to do all that, and then follow that up with Sokovia. So yeah, I guess there are questions being asked about, in subtle ways, Warner Brothers, about the effect that these people have in the real world.
Yeah,
we don't need congressional hearings with jars of urine to Thanks, Zach, buddy, pal,
bro,
dude, jar piss, bro. It's great. So edgy.
So,
heard Justice League's not very good. I heard from this
yeah,
mumblings.
Alan sent us that article.
Mumblings. Things are happening.
But see, here's the thing. I'm still.
Who knows? I don't care.
I'm still thinking Wonder Woman will be good, only because even with the previews to Batman v Superman, we knew that this is probably not going to be that good, because from the previews you kind of saw that this is probably not going to be that good.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, for most of us non-DC hating folk.
Hey, now.
I'm just speaking truth, man. Come on,
your truth
just accept.
No.
Just accept what you are.
No,
you're a 95% DC hater.
No, that's not true.
Wonder Woman still looks promising. But yeah,
you can make any trailer look snappy. It's got to come together into a coherent film at some point. I think.
Get you.
But we'll see. We'll see. Those reports are unsubstantiated, so we don't know. We don't know.
At the end of this episode, we get a little guns.
Yeah. This community meeting at a nightclub, mind you, turns into bullet fire.
Crispus Attucks is still probably all busted up.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Yeah.
But, gunfire breaks out, and Luke just happens to be there, and Misty spots Diamondback.
It's not just happens to be there. Remember the guy selling the DVDs of the incident? Told Luke about it. So
sure.
It's not, happens. I'm just saying.
No, I know.
Give continuity credit where it's due.
Credit is due. Credit given. Misty saw Diamondback in the club. She follows him up to Cottonmouth's old office, where he shoots her, and he was going to finish the job on her. He shot her in the arm, by the way. That's a plot point.
Shot her in the arm. Unloaded 2 clips, two different Glocks.
But Luke ate him.
Got at least 6 shots off before Luke got in there, and only managed to hit her in the arm.
It's unclear.
They weren't clobs, sir.
Maybe Diamondback's just not a good shot. I don't know. To be fair, it's proven that he's not. He shot Luke twice.
Yeah, but this was almost point blank range.
And they did shoot that one guy in the head, like last episode. Remember?
Yeah.
Well, hey, comes and goes. I don't know.
Ups and downs, strikes and gutters.
Do you think Misty's going to get the cybernetic arm? I wouldn't count on it.
I think it would be kind of a... you know what? It all depends on how they handle Iron Fist.
Okay.
Because as we've discussed before, Iron Fist is easily the most fantastical of the Netflix stories that they're doing.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, if you're going to do the arm, that would mean you would have to bring in Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Because in the comics, he's the one that created the arm.
And Robert Downey's not going on TV.
I don't know. He did Ally McBeal.
When he wasn't Robert Downey then. Now he's Robert Downey.
No, I know. I think I would not put it past him.
You don't go outside unless you pay for $50 million.
I don't think that's fully true. A good chunk of it's probably true, but no, I think he could surprise us.
Okay. I'll believe it when I see it. But Luke comes to the rescue of Misty, and their last closing scene is him covering her as
behind the bar.
Behind the bar, as gunfire rains down, and he says, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Luke is here now.
I think next episode we kind of start to pick up more into a proper pacing.
Conclusion.
Yeah. We get back to normal
Although we have
speed for last
4 episodes to go? 3? 4?
This episode was 10, so
yes.
we have 3 episodes to go.
3 to go. Okay.
Yep.
3 to go. Man, it seems like a lot for where we are in the story.
I think the pacing issues just really, really hurt the season.
Hey,
It's good. It's good, but
like
there were some
Jay
pacing
Jay Gelsomino said last week, it's like watching two different shows almost.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it is. We're in season 1, part 2.
yeah, 1B.
Yep. All right. Any last thoughts?
No, that's good. Good.
Okay. As we wrap
We're getting
this,
there.
Yep. As we wrap this episode up, we encourage you, as always, to reach out to us, communicate with us. We will communicate back. You can reach us on Twitter at Devils Do Pod. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Devils Do Pod. You can email us at thedevilsdopod@gmail.com, or you can find all this information on thedevilsdopodcast.com. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Devils Do. You look like you got something to say there.
Nope, waiting for you.
Okay. We appreciate you listening to the show. Please share the show with others. Please toss us some reviews on iTunes. Get the word out about the show. We really want to see the show grow in 2017. And yeah. What do you got? You look.
Got nothing, man.
Okay.
Sounds good. Let's grow this baby.
All right.
Do this thing. Light this candle. Tell your friends. Tell an enemy if you don't like us.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If you don't like us, why are you still listening to us? I mean, we appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, but yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, that's true. All right, folks. Court's adjourned.